Good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchtime Express with Enricoh Alfonzo. Joining me today is the awesome actor who played Bonga on Savage Beauty, as well as the upcoming Netflix South Africa film Collision. Welcome, Mpho Sebeng.
Shout out, yo. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, yo.
Yeah, man, lovely. It's great to see you here. Like I was saying in the beginning of this conversation, you look completely different from your character from Savage Beauty because he was all serious and you're all smiles here, man. It's really different to see.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're a great actor. You just changed into a whole other person in that TV series, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, but okay, so tell everybody at home, what, or in your own words, what is Collision about? Like, what can they expect to see in this movie?
So, Collision, I would say it's a thrilling, action-packed drama, that tells a tale of, post-apartheid South Africa, and I think it somehow zooms in on the socio-political climate. It's based mostly in Johannesburg. And, we follow these different characters who all have different backgrounds, and we also express different story themes such as, xenophobia, corruption, human trafficking, drugs. And we see how all of these characters are, some in one way or another involved with all of these themes. And in a world where we could possibly live harmoniously, obviously that doesn't happen because all of these worlds somehow come to a collision. They collide.
I love that, man. Beautifully said. Yeah. My friend and YouTuber Caleb Janssen, he actually posted a review. He got to watch it early and he gave it such a glowing review. So now I'm super hyped for the watch party next week. I can't wait for this movie. And he was mentioning those themes, and he stated it like it was like they put a camera lens to South Africa and they were like, South Africa, this is you. I love it. And it's like, do you agree with that? Is that what it was showing, like the realism that's happening and the problems that are faced in South Africa right now?
I think definitely to a particular degree. It is a fictional story, so it's not necessarily factual, but we've seen these themes happen. We've seen these things happen in Johannesburg, I think more so, yes, in every story there's a villain, there's a protagonist and there's an antagonist, right? But in this regard, I think what I get from like the whole film is that the biggest antagonist is actually the city itself, being Joburg. You'll see how gloomy it is, the lights that they used. It comes across as though the city is actually, the real villain. Yeah. And look, when we have individuals that grow up, we're all human first, right? But what makes up a human is, a balance between their nature and nurture. So we see in this regard how where they were brought up or how the circumstances have shaped all of these characters to become who they are. And then we see how they react when put in different circumstances.
Damn, man. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And what about, okay, so you play the character Tando in this movie, right? Can you tell everybody what your character is, or how does he fit into the story?
So my character, yes, I play the character by the name of Tando, who I think we find him in his survival mode, like someone who's living through survival mode right now, who's really just trying to make it. He doesn't know his father. He lives with his mom and his younger sister. His mom is a domestic worker, and he actually works for one of the families that we get to see later on. And then he also needs to fend for his sister. And he's got this friend. One of his stories is the story of coming of age, but there's this budding friendship that he has with Cecil, who is a musician. And so he takes over the ideal of becoming his manager because he understands that his friend is to a certain degree his golden token outside of the slumps of Johannesburg, and it's the only way to meet, this villain by becoming successful. But because of where he is and the climate of the time that the film takes place, he finds himself having to deal with illegal activities in order for him to sort of
he finds himself without the choice of anything else.
Exactly. And then we see him betray his friend, and that literally sets the whole story well from their side into motion. Yeah.
Mm. Ooh, that gave me chills, man. I can't wait to see this movie now, man. Really cool. I want
Yeah.
the 16 to come already.
Same. I
So,
can't wait.
so you've worked previously on a Netflix production, but this is also a movie production now. Can you tell everybody like what's the difference between the other productions that you worked on, but then now a Netflix production, and the quality and the materials and everything that went into making this movie? What was your experience of that?
I'd say first and foremost, Netflix has given South Africans the platform to tell their stories the best way they know how. And not only that, but they've also given them the resources to do that, the resources for them to really tell the stories. And another thing that's very different about Netflix is the fact that Netflix, once the show releases here, no, it's not just here, it's in 190 countries worldwide to over 222 million subscribers, and those that piggyback, on subscriptions. So it's literally more than 222,000 million subscribers. But further than that, what I loved about it is just, the respect and the care that they have for their artists, for both their artists and their crew.
Yeah, how
for
was
the first time, yeah, bro, for the first time in like being in the industry, there is some sort of HR. There's never really been HR. And
wow.
whenever you had grievances, you had to speak to the production manager, but the production manager wasn't, in most cases, a part of the production team. But here, Netflix sends someone who literally comes and deals with either any grievances, or if maybe you're playing a very traumatic character, they try and bring someone who can help you get out of it. So they, to a certain degree, get a therapist to come and help you, balance it out and just come back.
That's like
So I think
specialized care, man.
it's so special, bro.
Wow.
And I think, I really want to commend them for doing that, because it does open our eyes, and it does more so inspire, especially the actors, to really put their really best foot forward and really come to the. So yeah, Netflix has done the most.
Wow.
The most.
And yeah, the catering, and you got your own trailer where they like, Mr. Sebeng, Mr. Sebeng, it's time for your close-up.
Yeah. Own trailer vibes, bro. We out there chilling. And for both Collision and Savage Beauty, like I said, the treatment was A1. It was really, really great, man. Yeah.
Wow, lovely. And anyone caught your eye on the sets? Anyone, any extra or any co-star was like...
No. So the funny thing is, whenever I'm on set, bro, I literally, I just tunnel. I've got a vision, and I just focus on just the story and what it is that I want to tell. Most cases, I'll be thinking maybe I would have prepared a scene in a particular way, but by the time it gets to set, I may think differently about it, and maybe I have a conversation with my co-star and see where it is that they want to pitch the scene, and then maybe I start thinking of how I can, change it or morph it to make sure that it's even more impactful. So there's definitely never a chance to for my eyes to get caught. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how was it working with the director of this movie, Fabien Motorel?
It was really great. Firstly, Fabien is actually a French director, so it was actually one of the first times in a long time working with an international director on a set that was close, where we were like really close. We literally worked within close proximity with each other. It was really great. What I liked about Fabien is that he immersed himself in the culture, and whenever he wasn't sure, he would ask questions, and he gave us so much leeway, to really play the characters and to really find them and to somehow, understand what message each character wanted to portray and what message they wanted to send out. So he gave us the leeway to explore and really craft the character. And he was really prepared. That's one thing I liked about him. I've always heard, like, whenever I watch, interviews with actors from abroad, how, different directors have a different take on directing. And he is more so like a storyboard director, where every shot he plans, he literally sketches every shot. He walks around with this notebook and book of his, where He's planned each and every shot of the day. He wants to shoot this close up from this angle with this in the foreground. While when this actor comes in at this particular time, when this car passes here, he wants this to happen. I was like, oh, that is another level of, being prepared that I
he's
actually
conceptualizing all of the stuff simultaneously,
simultaneously. It's not like he just gets on set and then looks at the room and then decides. No, he already has the concept of how he wants to go about it, which is really brilliant. And I like more people could really, take that into consideration, because I think it helps us craft, the best possible visual aid that we can, which is really great.
Wow, man, he sounds like an amazing director. I mean, that's what you want in a director, someone who sees the bigger picture, but also who understands the technicalities that go into production.
Absolutely.
And someone who's talking, he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And he gives us leeway, and he listens, and he's conceptual. That's literally what you need in a director. And it is.
So this movie is gonna be pristine and wonderfully cut. We're gonna enjoy it. Okay.
Wonderfully cut, aesthetically pleasing. It's going to be great.
All right, so let's talk about your co-stars. Langley Kirkwood, Tessa Juba, Vuya Debula. I interviewed him earlier. We're gonna have that on air as well. Epic. What a down-to-earth guy, dude. For someone that famous in South Africa and such a humble dude. I love that, man. A lot of artists in South Africa, they're like closed off and hard to get to, but this guy is so down to earth, man. That was humbling. It was humbling to actually see. But let's talk about your co-star. How was that experience with them? What was it like?
I was about to say that was a common theme, with the actors that were cast. Even Langley does a lot of stuff, internationally.
Legacy, dude. Legacy.
Bro, legacy. And he's also so down to earth. I think what they
he's just been cast in the One Piece live action, dude.
That's
the fan base, man.
So I saw like the images that they were putting out there for One Piece, and I was like,
dude,
I want to see how
my
this
geek
is
brain
going
is
to be.
freaking out. I cannot wait for it. And they're filming in South Africa. They are
in South Africa.
They're giving us everything, dude. I kind of want to go to Cape Town and like camp out and just watch trying to see what's happening on those sets.
With your binoculars over there. Just
not even record or anything. Just be there. Oh my God.
Oh man. So a lot of people on there are really doing great work, great work. And one of the people that is actually a newcomer who I was very thoroughly impressed with was Zoe Sneeden.
I heard she was really amazing.
Yeah, she was really, really amazing. And this was literally like her first big acting gig. And you know what? She just gave it her all. And she was very present, and she was always, at any point, she was always just willing to go the extra mile. And that's what I really admired about her. We've got Samke Makoba and Tammy, and they have a very beautiful storyline going on. So we weren't necessarily always on set with them. But
is Zoe though the daughter that's taken by the notorious climber?
Yes, there was a second by Brasol, who's played by Vuyo Debula. Yes. Yes, Zoe is the one that plays that part. And then on the other side, we've got Samke Makoba and we've got Tammy, and they play the other theme being, the xenophobia and the family dynamics. And then you have Langley and Tessa Juba on this side, with a tinge of corruption. You have Space Vazi as well, and myself. And we somehow...
Oh yes, Vazi. Yes, how was that? Yes. This was his big role, right?
This was his big role, and I think he enjoyed it. And the theme that we explored was the drugs and the beginning friendship.
Okay, awesome. So like I said, my friend and YouTuber, he posted that review, and in it he was talking about how dark this movie gets, and he said there was one scene that he was like going to be really impressed if they went that dark. And apparently they did. So I want to know from you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how dark does this movie actually get?
Sure. It gets really dark. I think it more so shows you the repercussions of what happens when when the poor have nothing to eat but the rich, but when there's turmoil all over the country. I mean, one of the themes that Collision actually, tackles is youth unemployment. And it's so lovely that it is actually it comes out on the 16th of June, which is Youth Day. And it is 46th anniversary of the protest, that happened in 1976. Now, the youth of 1976 were fighting for freedom and, emancipation, and fighting against, Bantu education. Now we come to a point where 46 years later, we still have things that we are fighting. We're still fighting for freedom, but more so the type of freedom has changed that we're fighting for. We're fighting for economic freedom now. And it's almost as though, in some or another way, we've also retrograded from the war that we've been fighting. It's as though we've become a bit more complacent, and the government isn't coming to terms, which and it was doing the same thing back then, but it's like the government now has a new face. It's almost as though oppression has a new face, and it's something that we need to tackle. So I think that is dark, and it shows the fact that we see the repercussions of what happens when we don't take care of our youth. I think for me, that is a dark enough theme, and I think it just shows you how, youth unemployment can really create a breeding ground for crime. And that just goes further than just youth unemployment. There's also, themes of racism, because all of this also stems from racism, And yes. I think if we were all to defeat this villain being Joburg, because we're all just trying to make it, and try to move closer to a place of utopia, where we all, like I said earlier, live in a place in harmony, then it would be better. Then we wouldn't need to collide. Yes. So the collision that happens would be completely different. It would be more so a burst of joy, of love, of laughter.
Yeah, we need to take pride in our city. Yeah, take pride in how we care for our city. When I went to Japan, the shop owners would come out of their stores in the morning and start sweeping the street. And not just, I'm talking in front of their store. They'd start sweeping up and down all over the place. And there's barely any dust anyway to begin with, or any kind of papers, because people are so respectful. They really care about their city. And I even went to like the down and out districts, the red district when I went to, and it was like still pristine, man. They have complete pride for the city around them. It's not like, okay, I must throw my paper there. I'm eating a KFC. I can throw my wrapper wherever I feel like it. That's important. When you start with that pride there, that's how it changes. It's systemic change. It has to be systemic change. It can't just be like everybody singing Kumbaya. They have to actually give action into something, But yeah, I would love to see that pride in our city. I think if we can just take pride in our city.
Yeah, you're right. And then maybe we can live in an inclusive and transformed society.
Yes, but Rainbow Nation, dude, Rainbow Nation. That's what we need to look up to. We were talking about Invictus, that one scene in Invictus where you've got a whole council of people arguing that they want to make it now only one race above others again, And Nelson Mandela was sitting there like, no. We don't want that. We want everybody to be together as human beings. You're not a race, you're a human being. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower. Everybody is human beings. We're one species. And I loved when he did that, because it's very easy to just go along with 20 voices, but you're the one voice that's like, no, chill. We need to have equality. And I wish we could just go back to that. That's all I want.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
So I'm excited for stories that you're involved in like this, because Netflix is bringing it to South Africa, and it's giving us visual aid to see what is actually happening and hopefully change along the way.
Yeah, and I really do hope that once Collision drops on the 16th of June, that, a conversation will be started. I think maybe we start with a conversation, and then we start with reparations, and then we put things like in form to make sure that certain ills are dealt with. and then we move to a better state, you know, a more transformed and an inclusive society. Because right now, whether you have a degree or not, man, it almost comes across as you need to either have, I don't know, man, either you have to know someone at the top in order for you to like trickle in, you know. So we need to level the playing field, you know, and yeah, just make it a better country.
I know, I experience it. It's like gatekeeping, man. I don't understand it. You know, sometimes you get that fear, and I know everybody experiences when someone does come in and they maybe know but more than you, or they can take over what you do, or whatever the case is. You can feel that intimidation of thingy. But I always try to push it away and actually help them and get them in front of me. I want them to achieve more than I do, you know? That for me is success, because it's got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with them, and it doesn't take away anything from me. It only further improves them. So yeah, it really is. We need to stop this gatekeeping thing, man. We really do.
Honestly, we need to. I mean, I think there's enough for everyone. You know,
Thank you.
Just need to
abundance. There is abundance of everything. Everybody's like, no, it's scarce. Oh, you can't get into acting, it's scarce. You can't get into accounting, it's scarce. You can't get into everything is scarce.
Everything is
scarce. But
then
that person becomes successful. How? Because there's abundance.
Exactly.
Because somebody identifies an opportunity and takes advantage of it.
That's it. And that's what needs to happen. That's literally what needs to happen.
Okay, well, I'm glad that this movie does get a touch on that. I am so excited to see what this really dark scene is about. That's going to be interesting to see.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Mpho Sebeng. I play Tando on Collision. That comes out on the 16th of June on Netflix. And you are tuned to Heita FM. Peace.
Brilliant. That is epic, man. I love it. Okay. Got that one right. Professional, dude. Professional. Lovely. Okay, thank you for joining me at the Lunchtime Express on the Entertainment News with Enricoh Alfonzo. I had the honor and privilege, absolute privilege, of interviewing Mpho Sebeng today. Epic actor, storyteller, method performer, I would say. And just a humble human being, man. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mpho. And yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, man.
Thank you so much, bro. I do really thank you also for holding space. I think this was a very organic and a lovely interview. We were able to open up to each other, and I really love that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Lovely. Exactly. Yeah, we opened up, man. I really appreciate it. We'll keep it going. I'm looking forward to your next Netflix productions and everything. Who knows? You probably filmed it already and it's still coming out, you know? So you'll
who knows?
So you'll keep your secrets, but you'll let me know when we're gonna do the next interview, man. But yeah, we'll keep it going. Big supporter of you. We're gonna keep shouting you out, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Mpho Sebeng, and you are tuned in to Heita FM.